and just threw. Neither guy at any moment in those fights took one step from their style.
Yeah.
And that never happens. Yeah. There's always one guy that goes, fuck it, I'm throwing. Yeah. This is crazy.
I get hit.
Or I'm going to run.
Yeah.
Like Camacho always got on. You could always count on Camacho to get on his bike.
You
could always
that.
count on Mancini to never take a step backwards. And, you could always count on Mike to just be that aggressive, that pitbull, right? Yep. And these two guys never took a step back from either thing. But Hagler and Ray, if it's even, you got to keep it with the champ, right?
But no, because the thing is, you scoring rounds. So if you scoring rounds, you're like, okay, I'm not going to just – it ends up 7-5. Well, I'm supposed to do a race on the champ. I got to give it to the champ. So,
I want to watch fights with you now.
That's how they say, I break it down. I mean, I don't know if I'm good to watch with or not.
Well, with me, because I got my stupid opinions, and you're an actual heavyweight champion.
Okay, and I correct all that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm good to watch with or not. You might be like, man, why don't you be quiet?
No, I want to learn.
Okay, that's it. 'Cause I love breaking down boxing.
Now, Ali, you go era to era. Ali Frazier to you, who wins that fight?
Ali Frazier?
In a hypothetical.
Oh, Ali.
I mean, I'm sorry, Mike Tyson. I'm an idiot. Sorry, Mike Tyson. We know who won. All three times. Mike Tyson and Frazier. Who wins that fight?
I mean,
it's just your opinion. I mean,
in my opinion,
there ain't going to be a quiz.
I don't mind what people say or anything. I'm going, really with Mike Tyson because I don't see how, he's bigger and keeping him off for. I mean, it's a hard one. I'm looking at his style and I'm seeing Mike. It all depends if Ali can keep him off for at least 3 or 4 rounds. Because then the fight settled down, and then Ali just going to wear him out. I mean, which is... What
about Mike Frazier?
But, Mike, that's easy. Mike going to blow him out.
Because of defense?
Oh, yeah. Mike, he's bigger, and he's more... He's
Mike's bigger than Joe Frazier was? Oh, Joe. I know Joe was short.
202. I mean...
But so was Mike.
Think about 220.
When Doug Jones was 180 when he fought Clay.
Yeah, but...
By the way.
Yeah.
Cassius Clay never beat Doug Jones.
Yeah, but...
To lead up to that listing fight, he never beat Doug Jones.
But, it's a style matchup, and you're not fighting a puncher. See, I seen Mike when we were kids. He was 15, I was 11 in tournaments, knocking guys out then. When you're knocking guys out in the amateur, or juniors, you got punching power. And it carried to amateur, 16 and over, then it carried to pro. I mean, that's just pure power from since he was a little kid.
I'm grown, and I'm afraid of Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
What's it like to be 11 and be in the gym at a 15-year-old Mike Tyson? It's like being with the boogeyman?
I'm like, man, he was just a killer. So
is it when you just see him? Do you just give him room? Did he have a menace to him?
He was that guy. And one thing about Mike, they said he was kind of fearful, big kid, with some punching power, but fearful, and he took out his aggression in the ring against people, but wasn't no kids back then that big and they could punch that hard and had that kind of skill set. If they had that, they can compete with him a little bit. But he was punching hard from the time I seen him until, his pro career, he win the title and then losing. He always punching hard. But it's always somebody out there that got a style that can beat you, man. I mean, that's just boxing. And the thing about boxing, before you say anything else,
he knows me. Before you interrupt.
No, you avoid. One thing I learned in professionals boxing, unlike any other sport where, the Lakers, they have to play the Heat. They have to. It's scheduled. Boxing, you don't have to do that. I can avoid guys all day long. And so you really don't know who's really the best guy. Like if you say overall, you don't really know because he didn't fight him. In that era, if you didn't fight the best of your era, you're not the best.
You might have been champion longer had you avoided guys.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I wanted to fight everybody.
Right, and you fought guys who, I mean, you have a distinction. You beat a Klitschko.
Yeah.
You lost to there's 2 Klitschkos for the guys listening, gals listening that are boxing
2
fans.
big boys.
And I remember Klitschko hurt his shoulder when you beat him. However, he seemed to be completely and bizarrely out of gas. I remember that fight, and I remember thinking, how could a guy this talented be this tired? And it almost seemed like a waiting game. Did you feel during that fight that you could have dropped him? You could have caught him because of his exhaustion?
I weighed 208. He was 244.
Right.
He's 28-0 with 28 knockouts. And I'm thinking, man, he's like, I got to get past at least 4 rounds because I know I can come on after that. So I'm sensing during the fight, I'm backing him up. How was that? I'm backing him up. I start coming in. They cheer. I felt like a Black Rocky over there. They cheering, the crowd cheering.
This is in Germany.
In Germany.
His stomping grounds.
So I'm thinking, he might. I didn't think he's going to quit on the stool, but I think I might get him because I throw really good body shots. For the people out there that never spar with me, if you ever spar with me, you're going to catch a major body shot. And if you ever fought me, they all tell you.
It's hard to think about, dude. Me and Matt just looked at each other like, oh.
I wasn't the biggest puncher upstairs because of my size, but I throw mean body shots. I time them perfect. So I was hitting him with body shots. He wasn't grunting. Normally, guys grunt and, flinch a little bit. 4th round, he did. And I was like, oh, it's starting getting to him. Heard in the 6th round, 7th round. Just catching him. And you really don't see it. Like, you really don't see it on TV a lot. Right. But I know it in between us. It's like David Tua. I fought David Tua, and I heard him. You can't hurt him upstairs, but body shot, I heard him.
Right.
So it's the same with Klitschko. So I'm thinking, oh, man, I'm getting to him. I got, 5, 4, 3. The rounds start good. I'm going to get him. But I didn't know he's going to quit on the stool. In boxing, I'm taught this. You got to be almost dead to quit, or you considered a coward.
Right.
You don't quit. If I know I'm winning, I'm holding the belt, I'm winning, why would I quit?
Was he winning that fight?
They had him up on the scorecards by a lot. I'm fighting in Germany. What
really?
You expect?
So he could have just backed up and tossed his good arm out at you.
Just jabbed me all day long.
Just gotten on his bike.
And just held on and still would have won. I could have knocked him down twice, and he still would have won the fight.
So did you get the belt that night? WBO, right?
Yeah, WBO.
You get the WBO belt in Germany. That's got to be one of the most surreal experiences of your life.
It was his belt. I get to show it, but they sent my belt. I went home and I got.
It's like winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
Take a picture with this blank one, and we'll mail you yours, Chris.
That's what happened. But it was surreal. It was beyond crazy.
It's also weird that your first, I think 22 out of your first 24 fights were in Michigan. You never left the state.
Well,
you're from Flint?
Yeah, from Flint, Michigan.
And whoever brought you along, they were like, no, this kid's going to be the star of Michigan. You could have owned the UP, bro.
Yeah, but I think I did purchase the UP. Don't we own it? But it was how I started my career, though.
Yeah, but
it's how I started a career.
20, it was something like 18 out of 20, 20 out of 22.
That's it. It was my promoter.
And then when you left Flint, you fought at like the Palace at Auburn Hills.
Oh, yeah.
So I know the fight game enough to know a lot of it. Like Andre Ward, for example, has probably been brought along the most perfectly in the history of boxing. No one has been brought along step by step perfectly like Andre by Virgil Hunter. But your trainer brought you along, it seems, almost as flawlessly. Do you think you could have left Michigan earlier to your benefit, or do you think it was perfect the way it went?
I wish I would have left Michigan earlier and fought everywhere. My promoter.
But that's that bullshit guys say after a fight. Like, hey, man, whoever my promoter wants me to fight, I'll fight.
I had a promoter that owned a laminating business. How I started my career, he didn't know anything about boxing. He wasn't a boxing guy.
Like my manager. I still don't know what he does for a living.
Yeah.
I'm undeniable, man.
He didn't know anything. But he had to learn
then how did he start managing fighters?
He didn't.
He sells Soul Train laminates.
Look, I'm out there struggling, as a professional boxer. My first 2 fights, I didn't even get paid. I didn't get paid at all. The promoters didn't have the money. So I'm sitting up there. I was fighting in a smaller weight, and then I took like a year and a half off. I'm like, I'm going to heavyweight. I don't care. Evander Holyfield was champion. Hey, he was at the Olympics. He's a little guy. I'm a little bit taller, so he's not that big. So that's why I went to heavyweight. And then I didn't even have a promoter. This guy heard my story in the paper and said, man, I can help you guys out. My brother really seeked him out. He said, I can help you guys out. I don't know anything about boxing, but, I own a laminating business.
But I got a phone call.
I'm fighting in a nightclub. I fought my first 6-7 fights at a nightclub.
Well, Matty only fights in nightclubs.
But he at the club.
All his fights at the club.
Hey, stop
You ever fight at a house party?
Oh, no.
Matty's 3-0 at house parties.
Flip Michigan, you get shot in the house parties. You'll fight.
You beat Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
Post ear bite or pre ear bite?
Oh, post
ear bite.
Yeah, post.
When you get into the ring against a guy like Evander Holyfield, a part of you has to be thinking, "What am I doing here? This is Evander Holyfield."
Yeah.
Even though he's way past it.
No.
But he's still got that body. He's still Evander.
Smart.
He still headbutts the shit out of you. How brutal are the headbutts?
Look.
I don't think the casual fan realizes how much Evander Holyfield is a billy goat.
Okay, I love Holy. I love when I got in the ring, I was in awe. And Montel Griffin, and you probably heard of Montel Griffin. He was in the ring with me. He was on my Olympic team.
I've heard of Marlon Starling.
See, you go back.
I know all the Olympics.
You know all the guys. So he was like, "How you gonna feel, man, when you get in the ring with Holy, man? That's your guy." And I was in awe. But in I think the 5th round, he hit me with a headbutt. And I said something to him, and the ref noticed it. And out of respect to Evander, every time he got me to the ropes, he'd break it up because he know he's using his head.
The ref would
break it up.
He didn't want to take points away from Evander for button.
Because he didn't want to take points away, and he would just break us up.
People know that. This is good that we're talking about this because one of the greatest fighters of all time, no doubt whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think people realize how much of his game in the clinch is smashing the shit out of your orbital socket, your cheeks, and your nose, and your lips, and your jaw, and your neck with his head. And he was on Mohr Sports when I had a show on ESPN. He was one of my guests. And I asked him about it. And he goes, "Look, man, it's a game of inches. It's a game of space. And if we're in the clinch, that's my space. And I'm going to let you know that's my space.
It's his world."
And then you're like this. I go, "We have a clip from one of your earlier fights, and we just showed 2 Rams running at each other and hitting heads." And he looked a little puzzled. He didn't know that wasn't really. He was like, "When was I in a Ram suit?" So you go to Germany to fight twice. You fight both Klitschko brothers.
I went to Germany.
How many guys have fought both Klitschko brothers?
Not many. Do
you know any? I don't know. I'm asking for real.
No, for real.
I'm a lousy interviewer. No, seriously, how many?
Corey Sanders, who just passed, who got shot, he got killed.
Yeah.
He fought both, and man, I don't know many. Oh, I think Samuel Peter. I know he fought both. Yeah, he fought both, but not many of us.
It seems weird. Vladimir retired, or Vitaly retired.
Vitaly retired.
Vitaly retired.
Now he's back.
But it seems odd that it seems like they swore they would never fight one another.
Yeah, and that's understandable. Don't do that.
You beat you lost to Vladimir. You beat Vitaly.
Yeah, I lost Vladimir twice. He took both my belts.
You must dream about that guy.
I do. You know what? I said he took both of my belts.
To the listener, Chris's eyes just lit up like, man,
he took both of them.
Guy. I hate that guy. Let me catch him at a house party.
You're a big boy, though.
Andrew Galata, famous fight. You fought to a draw.
Yeah, we just went at it.
Is he as dirty as he was against Riddick Bowe?
Well,
really?
Well, he's dirty. Of course. He what did he do to me? Did he hit me behind the head? I mean, bad.
Right.
But he cleaned it up. You know, this for the title. He tried to straighten up his act at that time. Not as dirty as when he fought Bowe. That was just dumb. He had to fight. He won both fights.
You're a champion when you fight Galata. You won it from David Tua. It was like I
won from Evander.
Oh, you won it from Evander?
Yeah.
All right. So David Tua, I got it in order here. So after you lose to Vladimir, David Vetter, unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Back to Michigan. You go back to your stomping grounds.
Got to.
Now you're playing Indian casinos.
Got to.
That's like an old comic.
That's it. Yeah, I'm back. Trying to get back to the big time.
That's what I'm playing. So I'm not even making fun of you. David Vetter, not related to Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam, I don't think. Maurice Harris, unanimous decision.
Ooh,
David Tua, unanimous decision. So you're putting in a lot of rounds.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. That's deep water.
Yeah.
10, 12, and 12. You probably just want to put these guys away, too. Were you not able to put them away, or do you get so far ahead on the cards that you think, well, I'm not going to risk getting hurt. I'm so far ahead on the cards, I'm going to get my workout in the actual fight?
One, I'm not the biggest puncher. You know, I'm a middleweight. You know, look at me now. I'm a little cat.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
That makes it more impressive because I'm so small. and I stayed with fighting these big guys, stayed in there, and people don't realize that it was hard for me to keep weight on. People boxers try to cut their weight, the heavyweights try to get down. I'm trying to keep